Well, the BC budget was unveiled on Tuesday, and while there's a whole lot of spending, some business leaders are calling it a missed opportunity. For more on that, let's go to Tyler Orton from Business in Vancouver. Good morning, Tyler. What are some of the critiques out there?
Well, look, the BC Chamber of Commerce, they are praising the budget for the inclusive and clean growth that was outlined in last week's new economic plan. But the Chamber, it's disappointed that the government isn't doing more to, say, cut down operating costs for businesses. They point to opportunities such as the employer health tax, some reforms there that could have been instituted. The Business Council of BC, it's also calling for further tax reforms, and those just not really manifest here in the budget that was unveiled yesterday. It's also raising concerns about maybe plans that will be needed to balance the budget further down the road. And finally, the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade, it's still concerned about some of the lack of details that were not really presented here after the new economic plan was introduced last week. So look, it's very rare that business leaders are going to rah-rah over a provincial budget, but I would just point out that it seems kind of a particularly cool response from business leaders just over the past 24 hours.
That's interesting. The NDP putting a lot of their chips towards capital spending. And speaking of chips, the average person eats 4 pounds of potato chips every year. But if your chip aisle looks a little barren lately, it's because we have a chip shortage in Canada. Tyler, many would consider this an emergency. What's going on?
Well, Frito-Lay and Loblaw, they are in a pricing dispute right now. Of course, Loblaw is the owner of some of the biggest retailers here in Canada, Shoppers Drug Marts, Superstore, No Frills. So you might be seeing some barren shelves pretty soon right now. Frito-Lay says they need to pass on the cost of their big iconic brands. We're talking like Doritos, Miss Vicky's onto the retailers, and retailers are pushing back because they know they'll have to pass those costs on to consumers. And look, this is actually a broader economic issue. This is going on between other retailers and suppliers. It's just not as, say, high profile as these two companies here in Canada. So ultimately, it's kind of the consumers that are losing out, whether it's access to their favorite brands or higher prices that they're going to have to pay down the road. It's not going to be limited to just these two companies.
Tyler, I'm almost out of time, but what is your favorite chip flavor?
I like the Miss Vicky's, the sweet chili. That's my go-to.
So good.
For sure.
Sweet chili and sour cream. They're jalapeno, no slouch either. All right, Tyler Orton, Business in Vancouver, chip aficionado. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Paul.